All right, we are live on YouTube. I'm just waiting on the video to connect on my other monitor so I can grab that link and put it in our free business mastermind group so that our membership can join us easily and conveniently here on YouTube Live. All right, I think the link is popping up. Oh, I got my oh Lord, what is this Zoom on? Oh, it's on 150. I am not that blind. Let's get that off of there. All right, I can see the live chat, but where is the, okay, here we go. Here's the link. Let's put that in the group. Okay, that's cycling and posting. I have a lot to share today. Some stuff you've heard, some stuff you may not, but the way we're going to round it out and bring it together may be helpful. All right, I can see the live chat, so we can get started. All right, welcome to the Her First Six Figures morning show. That is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and Brown female online service based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by showing you how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com forward slash structures with an S at the end. So that's shaycannon.com forward slash structures with an S on the end. Because two of our past blog posts that kind of center around this same topic are at shaycannon.com forward slash structure, no S, and shaycannon.com forward slash system. Okay. So check those out. But what we're talking about this week are operational structures for increased revenue. All right. Because what we understand is our business, kind of like the corporate structure, has different departments. Okay. Because we don't have a corporate structure, we may say areas, and that feels more aligned, but we have different areas of business and we need to structure each of those areas. Okay. Now, when we bring structure to the areas, what it does is it saves us time, it saves us money, and it allows us to make more money. Now, on yesterday, we talked about structuring and streamlining admin tasks, okay? Administrative and support tasks. So if you want to know 10 strategies for streamlining administrative and support tasks, you need to go to yesterday's replay, okay? Because we talked about all about what it is, why it's important, and I gave you 10 strategies for doing some structure in that area. Today, we're going to talk about the area or department of marketing and structure around that. So, optimize marketing operations for profit. Marketing is the lifeline of your business. If no one knows what you do, why you do it, or how to work with you, revenue stays stuck. So, especially marketing as a solopreneur can feel like a never ending game of post and pray with no real strategy behind it. One minute you're trying to be consistent, and the next you're in a creative drought, ghosting your audience. I do that sometimes. I'm sorry. Because you're drained and overwhelmed. And let's be honest, shouting into the void of the internet without structure leads to inconsistent visibility, unqualified leads, and a whole lot of burnout. Okay. So the problem isn't that you're bad at marketing, it's that you're running it like last minute thoughts, okay? Instead of having this departmental view that fuels revenue on purpose, all right? That is what is in the blog, but you know, here on the morning show, I give you more. So today is going to be one of those days where you get a lot more, okay? Because not only do I have show notes with strategies, I am going to be sharing some of the actual documents that I use to fulfill the structure of some of these strategies. All right. So we got 10 actionable strategies, and these strategies are for you to create structure around your marketing. Now, if you were with us yesterday, you know, Dr. LaFera asked, you know, which one of these are automated? Everything is not automated, but everything is structure you need to have. And what structure is a system you have put in place where you're doing the same things. You're making sure that you're getting things done in the same way. You make sure that you know what's going on, and you're making sure that you're efficient at getting all the things done. Okay. So that is the purpose of structure. And it's not always automated, but don't we love it when it is? Okay. So let's get started with the first structure for marketing. All right. First thing you need to do is assign a purpose for every platform. Okay. A purpose for every platform. Some of y'all are on these different platforms marketing, but you might be doing the same thing on every platform, or you might be expecting the same thing of every platform, and neither may be true of what you should be doing. So give each channel a defined role. Instagram for awareness, email for conversion, YouTube for education. Those are just some examples, but this eliminates scattered energy and helps you to measure success based on your intention and not just vanity metrics and not just doing stuff to do stuff. Okay. So that brings me to my first document that I want to share with you, which is my content strategy document. And some of you, if you've been with me long enough, you've seen some of this stuff, but it comes all together with us structuring marketing. All right, let me share my screen. Is the right thing up? Yes, it is. All right. So for myself, I have all of the channels and platforms that I create content for. Okay. And what I do is I have to know exactly why I'm on that platform. So I give every platform a purpose. I give it a type of content, and I am very intentional on where I drive traffic from that platform. Okay. So the Facebook group, my purpose is this is my priority community. Okay. The content is highly nurturing for business growth, community building, and collaboration. Okay, I have some things that I do as pluses for this group, but the purpose is to drive traffic to my Facebook page, to my YouTube, to my blog, and to my lead magnets, and to some tripwire or low offers. Okay. Email, the purpose, my secondary community, building that community, and the content has a conversational tone with a focus on value wrapped in storytelling. Okay. And I drive traffic to my YouTube, to my blog, to lead magnets, and to offers. Okay. My website, yes, I put content on my website. So the purpose of that is for it to be my content hub. All my other content should have a place somewhere on my website. And my content, besides the blog, other content is repurposed here through backlinking to be evergreen and kind of showcase my expertise and bring some SEO, right? Where do I drive traffic from my website? I drive traffic to credible sources for authority ranking, SEO. I drive it to my community, and I drive it to my email. Okay. Sometimes I drive it to sales or offers, but just my regular website, you can't see any sales pages if you just go to my regular website. So I'm not talking about my sales pages. All right. Contributing writing and media. So the purpose for that is more exposure from me as an expert, wider distribution of my reach. Okay. And the content is always going to be helpful, actionable steps. And I'm driving traffic back to my website almost every time. Okay. Podcast, their purpose, exposure from me as an expert and wider distribution of my reach, kind of like the contributing writing and the PR. My content is mindset, actionable expertise, and my freedom living as a theme. And I drive traffic to my website or to my community. Okay. Facebook page, Facebook account, Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, YouTube. I got different channels on YouTube and TikTok. Each platform has a purpose. I have the type of content themes that I'm going to do there, and I know exactly where I'm going to drive traffic. Okay. So if first of all, that's a lot of platforms, but I am an OG content creator, so it's easier for me. You may not be on all of those platforms. In fact, it's okay if you're not on all of them, but make sure you're at least on a platform that you're consistent on, where your people are and where you can shine. Okay. So that was the first strategy. Look, that was just the first one. Let's go to the next strategy. The next strategy is standardize hashtags, calls to action, and your brand voice, right? So you're going to create like a style guide with reusable calls to action, kind of brand language that you're going to use every time, and hashtag groups so that posts are on brand without starting from scratch. Okay. Now, I don't really have that for myself, but I did create one for my client. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay, so one of my clients, he is now primarily on TikTok as his star platform. So I created a TikTok process for him, but as a part of that, let's go to captions. So I give them one of two captions. Okay, if the video features one of the products that we sell, that is one of the captions that they're going to follow as a template. If the video does not feature anything having to do with a product that we sell, then that has another kind of script. Okay, so this is kind of like the voice that I wanted to have. Now, our TikTok expert said for each post that we have, we need 5 hashtags. Okay, 5 hashtags. And so I used our content pillars to create hashtag groupings of 5. All right. Now, the strategy is that you need to rank these from the highest number to the lowest number. Now, what does that mean? Well, if I go down to my hashtag research section down here, each hashtag has a kind of reach on TikTok. So if you click that hashtag, it shows you like the average number of people using that hashtag. So this one is 7.3 million people are using the hashtag healthy. So a lot of times that one's going to go first because the one with the highest reach number needs to go first in this 5 hashtag grouping. Okay. So for most of the content that we have for our content pillars, I've already set up the 5 hashtags that we're going to use in the order that we're going to use them. And then I have the hashtag research here so that they are ever coming up with some other type of content, they can at least come here and pull in different hashtags and put them in the correct order. All right. So that is hashtag caption research. All right. And I'm going to close that out so I can move to the next thing. All right, that was strategy number 2. Strategy number 3, create a monthly content calendar anchored by your offers or anchored to your offers. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that may look a little confusing, but I'll talk you through it. All right, so when I do my annual planning, okay, I set up my quarters by promo, by content, and all of that. Okay, so we are in quarter 2, and what have we been talking about? Structure. That is on my plan, right? We've talked about the 4 M's of research already. We've been talking about business management, and we're talking about structure, right? We haven't kind of got to the time management yet, but guess what? We got 1 more month in this quarter. So when I sit down and I do my annual planning, I also plan what is the overview of my content going to be based on the overview of what my promotions are going to look like. Okay, so I have in here some of the promotions that I want to do. So we're coming up on a sales event called Spring Clean Your Offer. I took it from business to offer. Okay, and so that's why we're talking about structure. So everything that we talk about this quarter is built around this sales event that I plan to have. So it's going to resonate to everybody who has been listening to me. All right. So for every quarter, what is the theme, the overall theme? I have a workshop idea, 2 of them. Then what is going to be the big sales event? This is an in-person event that I'm not having while I'm on tour. But these are the content pillars that I will talk about in those quarters. Okay. So you need something to anchor you where your content is matching your promotions. So you don't want your content to be talking about one thing and then you're trying to sell another. Because the people who have been listening to you talk about this one thing over here, you haven't gotten them ready to buy this thing over here. They need to complement each other and align. All right? Cool beans. Let's go to strategy number 4. Define a weekly content rhythm. Now, this document that I'm going to show you is not really in a format where you can tell the weekly flow of it, but I'm gonna see if you can catch it anyway. Okay, it's this one. Because the one that I actually use on my what the fuck did you do today document is too convoluted for you to actually see what I do day to day. But this is a breakdown of weekly content. Now I don't follow this anymore. But some of you may recognize this flow back when I was really like getting out a whole bunch of content. I ended up doing 150 pieces of content a week. Now, what is a piece of content? Anytime you click in this publish, that's a piece. I don't care if you click publish on the same thing 5 times, that's 5 pieces. So I hope y'all get this. This is not 150 unique pieces of content every week. This is some repurposing in there and some new stuff in there. Okay. So this is publish a blog. Okay. This is weekly. All of this is weekly. Okay. So publish a blog weekly. And then I'm going to share the link in 5 different places. So that counts as 5 pieces of content. Really, it's 6 if you count the blog. Okay. Then I'm going to pull 5 quotes from the blog. And I'm going to post one of those quotes a day, but I'm going to post it across 6 platforms. So that counts as 30 pieces of content, right? Then I'm going to live stream once a day and share that live stream on 5 different or 6 different places. And so anyway, you get this flow, right? Every week I'm going to do these things, and those things that I'm doing equal 150 pieces of content by the end of the week. But now I know in a week what all I am publishing, if that makes sense to you. Now, yours doesn't have to look like a document like this. It could definitely be like an Excel spreadsheet where you got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that is fine. This I found because it was just demonstrating how from a blog you can get a total of 150 pieces of content a week, because everything in here started from that blog. Okay. Ooh, beans. All right, let's go to the next thing. We got a few things without me having anything to show you. So number 5, you need to automate content publishing wherever possible. Let me tell you how Facebook, every now and then, they allow us to schedule on that Facebook account that you have friends on. Right now, they're allowing me to schedule right there. And so I'm getting it in, scheduling over there. But every now and then, they also take it away for long periods of time. But I'm going to tell you there are different places or platforms that you can use to schedule content, like Metricool is one of them. You got your what is it, Post Planner, you got Buffer, all these different things. But one thing about it, most of if you have a problem with reach, then I'm going to tell you using third-party schedulers is going to interrupt your reach. So it's really best for you to schedule things natively on the platform. Okay. So I know it feels easier that you can put it in one time and then say, yes, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, but those third-party schedulers stifle your reach. Okay. So if you are depending on the reach when you post for people to see it, then you might not want to use a third-party scheduler. Now, if you are one of those people that are consistent and they know that you're going to post around 6 a.m. Or 10 a.m. every day, and your people know to start looking for it, it probably doesn't matter that you're using a scheduler, because it doesn't matter the reach, because people are looking for your content. And so you don't have to reach out to them because they're coming to see, is the content ready? All right. Cool beans. Next thing is number 6. And that is centralize your content ideas and your content drafts. Have a folder where you keep all of your content drafts. Every blog that I have published, and I have published, I don't know, 300 some blogs. Every one that I have published, they're in a folder, in a Word document, each one of them. Right? So I have a folder with that, but I also have one document that's called blog ideas. And I just have a running bullet pointed list of things that I think I might want to talk about. Right? So you need to have a centralized place to keep your ideas and your drafts. All right. Now, number 7, assign visibility roles in your strategy. Now, we talk about visibility all the time. We talk about collaborations. We talk about interviews, whether it be podcasts or media or whatever. But I need you to understand, when you're doing that stuff, you're not doing it just to be seen. You should be doing it to also send traffic somewhere. So you should understand that when you have the opportunity to do contributing writing, or you have the opportunity to be on a podcast, you should have ready as a part of your strategy, what is the call to action at the end? And the call to action all the time can't just be follow me on social media. It might be, hey, I'm having a workshop this month. You can go here to sign up. Or one of my favorite ones is join my free community, is my call to action when I'm showing up in places. So it could be sign up for this lead magnet. I have a free gift for you. Sign up here to go get it. You need to know what calls to action you're assigning to your visibility. Okay. Just like your platforms that you post on all the time, we gave it strategy and we know what we're doing for each one. When you go and do this other type of visibility, it needs to have a call to action strategy that is intentional. All right. Number 8, create a content performance library. Now, you guys have seen this spreadsheet of mine before, where I keep all of my content, and this thing needs to be updated. But basically, every blog that has a YouTube show attached to it, every blog that has a Facebook show attached to it, every blog that has a Clubhouse attached to it, blog posts that have nothing else attached to it, but they're on my site, podcasts, whatever. So this is a full document of all of my content. So it would be very easy for me to add another column in here so that I can say, okay, this has been repurposed, this has not been repurposed, and so that I understand what I'm doing with content that I already have. But I also just, even if all you had was that content log, you at least know what content you've done, okay? Now, you go one step further and you just make a column where you can say, hey, this one went viral, this one got shared a lot. Just make a little notes section so you can know how each one of them performed. Because when you're thinking about doing things like running ads, you want to go and pick content that is aligned with what you're trying to sell in the ad or what you want to do in the ad. And you want to get something that had already been popular. It's already proven as something people were into, or that they watched that video. A lot of people watched that video, or a lot of people commented on that post. So you want to take your highly engaged content, and that's what you use to run your ads. But you won't know what your highly engaged content is if you're not keeping up with the content, number one, and number two, keeping up how the content is doing. All right. Cool beans. Number 9, use a repurposing workflow to extend content life. I kind of already said that out of order, but on that same spreadsheet, you can have a column where you can say, okay, I've repurposed it on this date and time in this place. I repurposed this date and time in this place. Because our goal is all that content I got, I should be repurposing. There are going to be places and platforms where I'm not creating anything new. Right? So one of the things that I'm about to do, the reason why you all will not have total, full, lifetime access to the show notes anymore, is I'm about to gather these things up and create micro learning courses out of them and sell them on different platforms. So they won't be available for free no more. Y'all get them for free first. But after a while, it's time to repurpose and make money, because y'all know my content be good. There'll be a little masterclass type content, even though I hate the word masterclass. So I'm about to benefit from that in a different way. Okay. But if you don't know what all you got out there, how can you repurpose in ways that bring you more leads, that nurture your people, or even make more money? You can't, because you don't know what you got out there. All right. Number 10, we need to track basic KPIs monthly. This is how we know which performances, which content performed well, because we're keeping KPIs. Now that can look like we said, highly engaged stuff. That can look like highly visible things or high views on videos, but it also can look like how many followers did you get, or leads did you generate? Okay. It could also look like how many comments you got, how many shares you got, how many bookmarks you got, or saves. So we want to kind of keep up with that stuff, because that's going to tell us what the high performing stuff is. Okay. Cool beans. So that was 10. 10 strategies for structuring your marketing operations, okay? Now, we're going to start with Dr. Young, Dr. LaFera, and the question is going to be, which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you can create more leads, that's tofu, and nurture more relationships, that's mofu, to position you to make more money? Okay, we're going to put that over here, and then we're going to put it over here on the YouTube side. Kimberly jumped over here on the YouTube side. And then we have Glow is back. Hey, Glow. All right. Let me go back so I can give you these 10 strategies to structure your marketing stuff so that you can make more money. We're going to go through the 10 without all the extra. So number 1, assign a purpose to every platform. Anywhere you are giving content, you need to know what the purpose of that content is, what kind of purpose you're going to put out and why. Okay. Number 2, standardize hashtags, call to action, and your brand voice. Number 3, create a monthly content calendar anchored to your offers. I showed you my mine is quarterly, but then I break it down later to be monthly within that quarter. But what I'm talking about is the same all quarter. Okay. Number 4, define a weekly content rhythm. What are you going to do every Monday? What are you going to do every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday? I might not work weekends, but hey, what are you going to do during those weekdays every weekday to be consistent? What's the rhythm of it? Number 5, automate content publishing where possible. Don't forget, I would also add, use the native scheduler where possible. Okay. Number 6, centralize content ideas and past content drafts. If my website got a bug and it took away all of my blogs, I still have it somewhere else. I have a whole folder where each blog is on a Word document. So you need to have a place that is centralized to put all that stuff, and a document where you can run ideas. All of that can go in the same folder. Number 7, assign visibility roles in your strategy. So when you're doing these high visibility things, contributing writing, media, whatever, know what your call to action is going to be. Know what your strategy is going to be for being visible at that time. Number 8, create a content performance library. You got to create the library first, and then you can put on there how did they perform in your log of the library. Okay. Number 9, use a repurposing workflow to extend the life of your content. And again, you first have to know what content you have to be able to go back and repurpose it on a workflow. Number 10, the last but not least, is track basic KPIs every month. This is how you're able to identify your best performing content. Okay. That was a lot. I warned y'all, right? Like, this was one of them that's highly valuable, showing y'all the documents and the structure that I create for myself and my clients. So we're going to start with Dr. LaFera. Which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you can create more leads, tofu, and nurture more relationships, mofu, to position you to make more money?
Good morning. I will say, I'll be more intentional about number 1. I started doing it, but I'm probably not as intentional about like giving a purpose to like the platforms. And then number 7 is visibility role, CTA. Like I have different CTAs, and like a document like what you have with the different CTAs, but like I like when I do podcasts and stuff like that, I just need to like, be more, I guess, consistent, even though I don't know that I'm not, but like I need to be more intentional about being consistent with my CTAs.
Cool beans.
So,
All
yes.
right. So that was assign a purpose to every platform and standardizing hashtags and CTAs. Thank you for that. Cool beans. Let's go to Sasha. Sasha, this is marketing. This is right up your alley, right? And you do it for your clients, but now you got to look at doing this stuff for yourself. So which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you create more leads, tofu, and nurture more relationships, mofu, to position you to make more money?
Yes. So you think if I do this every day in my corporate job, I'd be doing it for myself. But um I think for where I'm at with my personal business, like 1 through 4, I really need to get on so I can launch this summer. All of it I'll need to do, but I think I especially need to focus on 1 through 4 as I get ready for launch.
I love that. And at least I had an example for all 4 of them that you need to look at. So her one
Yeah.
through four is assign a purpose to every platform, standardize hashtags and CTAs and brand voice, create a monthly content calendar anchored to your promotions and offers. And the last one was define a weekly content rhythm. So thank you for that, Sasha. And again, with those being the 4 that you needed to get started on, I'm glad I had at least a visual for you.
Yes.
So when I show you guys visuals, I'm showing you how I structure stuff. You can just use that as a starting point. And as you start working with it and using it, your goal is to make it more aligned with how you work, how you think, so that it gets monkeys off your back. But if following exactly how I do it makes it harder for you, then you need to find your own system. I'm just giving you somewhere to start. All right. Let's go to Dr. Ayana. Which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you create more leads, tofu, and nurture more relationships, mofu, to position you to make more money?
Very good morning, God's children. Another, knock it out the park moment here today. Several of these I could stand to do better on. Some of them I really do need to, jumpstart. But I think number 9, use a repurposing workflow to increase content life. I think I could really benefit from that, especially when you talk about the micro learning on platforms that may not have been exposed to certain types of media or content, repurposing and putting in a form that would be more appropriate for an alternate platform to increase leads and revenue, I think would be really, really beneficial.
I like that. I like that. And repurposing is a great thing to do. If you find that you are creating a lot of content, but it's hard for you to repurpose it, that may be a signal, a trigger, a clue that you are all over the place with your content. That's why you can't find a way to repurpose it, because you're not talking about the same things enough for it to be valuable enough for you to bring back, right? So if your workflow of content is all over the place, then when you go to look at what you did, there's no rhyme or reason to it. So now you don't know how to bring it in cleanly to talk about it again. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. All right,
Thank
Keith,
you.
you're welcome. Keith, you must want to get off the mic today because I don't see. Okay, there you go. My bad. Look, Keith be like, I'm just gonna wait till the last minute till she call my name. But Keith said he needs to do number 2, number 6, and number 9. Okay, so number 2 was standardized hashtag CTA and brand voice. Number 6 was centralized content ideas and drafts. And number 9 was use a repurposing workflow to extend content life. Okay, loving it, loving it. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you can create more leads, which is tofu, and nurture more relationships, which is mofu, to position you to make more money?
I need to refine the calendar.
Yeah.
And then I also need to refine why am I not remembering the running list of what did you,
Ideas.
yes, but you called it something specific. I don't remember
I
why.
just said centralize your content ideas and drafts. If that's the one you're talking about, that's what I said.
Perhaps not. It is though. I do need that, but there was another one specifically, and I can't remember it now. But definitely number 2. Is that 2?
Standardized.
No, the
Standardized
calendar.
hashtag CPIs. The calendar is number 3.
3. So that's definitely the one that I need to do because I've done one, but now it's been a while, so it needs refining.
Yeah, yeah. Love it, love it. All right. Let's go to Dr. Latoya. Dr. Latoya, which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you can create more leads, which is tofu, and nurture more relationships, which is mofu, so that you position yourself to make more money?
Definitely the centralize or create the list of
Mm-hmm.
all of the stuff that is out there in the world. I think I'm consistent in my unorganization. So putting it all together in one place does a really good job. I did start like from you going back in all of the places that I had appeared on podcasts or summits, like and making kind of a list for that I was able to then give to my assistant. So when she needs to pull stuff, but the rest of the content is just still out there, all floating free in space. So I think adding that will be good for me.
Yeah, that's when you have to sometimes go Google yourself. And then it's funny because the latest Google of myself, I try to do it at least once a quarter, right? Um, I Googled myself. I found interviews that I was featured in. So it wasn't about me, but it was about somebody else that mentioned me. I found two of them. And I was like, oh, you didn't even tell me that you mentioned me in this article that was about you. But I found two of them. And I was like, oh, okay, let's add this to the list. So yeah, sometimes you have to Google yourself. For me, I do have a Google alert set on my name. However, sometimes the Google alert misses stuff. So yet again, once a quarter, I Google myself, and I have to Google myself with the accent after the A and without to kind of pull it up. And then I also will add in Shay Cannon Fractional C.O.O. That'll pull up some stuff that didn't come up in the other two searches. So play with your name. Like if you doctor something, put the doctor in it. Do it without the doctor in your full name. Dr. Latoya, you know you're gonna do yours with the space, without the space, so that you're pulling up more stuff because one search is probably not enough. And stop looking at only the first 2 pages. I at least go 20 pages deep in the search of the Google search. And I'd find stuff that it's like page 15. Like it started getting into Shay Cannon, the rapper, and Shay Cannon of this. And then all of a sudden, it's some stuff I didn't even know was out there on me. I was like, oh, okay, who beans? I'm going to tell you another reason why you should Google yourself and set Google alerts. If you use stuff like help a reporter out and quote it and stuff like that to try to get media, they don't always tell you that they used your stuff. They don't always tell you that they featured you. They just take what you sent as a part of that and they go ahead and they write it. And then when you do one of your Google searches, you'll be like, oh, I remember when I submitted for that 3 months ago. Oh, they published it. They didn't even say anything. Google yourself. All right, let's go to Cheryl. So Cheryl, which of these marketing operational tasks do you need to structure so that you create more leads, which is tofu, nurture more relationships, which is mofu, so that you are positioned to make more money?
Good morning. It's number 5, automating the content, publishing where possible, specifically on Facebook. You just mentioned that they came back with the scheduling. I was so hurt when they got rid of that. To know that it's back, I am extremely happy because it is one of the best tools to drive traffic to your page, to your IG, and some of the other platforms, as well as engagement. So that's the
Yes.
one I will be working on this afternoon.
And just to clarify, so you had always been able to schedule on your business page, the one that you like. You had always been able
Right.
to schedule in your group, but every now and then they let you schedule on that account where you have friends when you post, and then they'll
Yes.
take it away. And then they'll bring it back, and then they'll take it away. But when
Right.
they allow for it, baby, I wear it out. Let me tell you. So
That's the
yes,
one that works on the
Mhm.
personal one works better than the
It
business
does.
page.
It
And the
does, but
business
they don't
page, I
like for us to use the personal page with friends for business.
right,
So that's why they don't want us to schedule over there.
right.
But yeah, so they take it away every now and then. But hey, all
All
right.
righty.
Thank you for that, Cheryl. Kimberly is over here on the YouTube side, and she said, didn't think to do that, the Google alert. She said, I put all my drafts in notes. I mean, you can put them anywhere where you can go back and get to them. So that's fine. And then she said she wants to do number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 8. God, dog, Kimberly, the whole list. Okay, so let's see. 4 is define a weekly content rhythm. 5 is automate content publishing where possible. 6 and 8, let me go back. 6 is centralized content ideas and drafts. And then 8 was create a content performance library. All your structure is around your content, Kimberly. So yeah, you need to structure it, especially since, Kimberly, you know that you tend to not be consistent with your content. That's where all this structure will come in handy, y'all. Because if you start off knowing what you're supposed to be posting and when, and you create a flow for it, then all you got to do is sit down and we're going to say batch create and batch research what your content is going to be and then get it out there. But sometimes when y'all sit down, y'all don't know when stuff is going to be published, why it's going to be published, what you're talking about in the publish, and that's what's taking so long, and that's why you can't be consistent. So all of this structure is going to help you be consistent, because what we know is being consistent with our content is an important step to being able to sell to people. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants you pop up just asking for their money for stuff, and you've not said anything. You've not positioned yourself as an expert. You've not given value. Again, my guy, Gary V, he said it's give, ask, or what is it? Jab, jab, right hook is one of his books. So we're supposed to be out here giving value so that when we make an ask for them to spend money with us, we already have the like, know, and the trust, and we build that from consistent content. All right. Cool beans. All right. This was a great day. Tomorrow we're going to talk about structure around sales. So today we talked about structure around marketing. Tomorrow we're going to talk about structure around sales. Yesterday we talked about structure around your administrative and support tasks. So anybody have any questions about yesterday and today? Any questions, any value adds, or any what do you call them? Light bulb moments, or I forget what I usually call them, nuggets. All right, cool. Well, guess what? Today is definitely a day you need these notes, these show notes, and there's only 2 ways to get it. Number 1, you have to be a member of our free mastermind group, and they live in the files section. Also, you can get the notes and the entire morning show in your email inbox by going to shaycannon.com/show, sign up. So you're going to get 2 emails every broadcast day, 1 in the morning, remind you to hop on YouTube, 1 in the afternoon with a link to the replay and a link to the notes. All right. Now, if you want to find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, and how to be a part of our highly valuable free business mastermind group, go to the description below for the link and more details. All right. Again, highly valuable episode. Give us a thumbs up. Like this episode, please. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. This is, what is this, part 2 of a 4-part series? So check out the other videos, all right? And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody.